little look at the bonus back option. It is available across races 1 and 2 at Riccarton. A refund of up to $30 as a bonus bet if your runner finishes 2nd, 3rd or 4th at Punters Lounge at tab.co.nz for details. Well, as promised, jumps action also at Riccarton. There's something for everybody, isn't there? And we kick things off with that Avon City Ford Sydenham Open Hurdle. And Hayden, as we get to you, tell us about the field and who you like.
Well, it is only a small field of 5, but it's a pretty high-class field. Up the top of the book is Jake Frost, who's won a Great Northern and a Grand National. Whether he's quite ready for this, I'm not too sure. We're going to take you back and have a look at the Wellington Hurdle. This time, you're seeing Anya in the race. Also, Chief Sequoia, the horse on its immediate inside, is the horse of John Wheeler. It just gets jumped across at that point as well. Now, Arjun, shall we say, has closed off this race really well. He's a good hurdler. His record in hurdles is outstanding. He's a past Pakuranga Hunt hurdle winner, Awapuni hurdle winner. I think he's poised. There's a big margin back to Chief Sequoia, but he will have improved with that run for sure as well. Not too much over what's a really intriguing way to start the day, and it's a bonus bet race too, Matt.
Yeah, it's a hard race to go in with any real confidence, I guess, Aidan, with the lack of jumping races in the south and without being able to see that exposed form from both islands. Ringbolt's been very good, winning 2 out of 2 in company that's probably not as rich as what he'll meet in the Sydenham on Saturday, but he looks a pretty handy jumper the way that he moves. He's very willing in his work. He's had a flat run since his win here at Timaru, beating home Master Courtsman, who was a subsequent performer after this. He's the South Island hope, I guess. Jack Frost never really showed too much. I know that he finished 3rd and behind Master Courtsman, but he was beaten 22 lengths last time out. But this guy has got it all going for him in the way that he moves. Ringbolt, he's going to have to improve a little bit to be competitive here, but I certainly wouldn't be leaving him out of the mix. A hard race to really judge, Aidan, I guess. It's probably more of a watch for mine with a view to the Grand National Hurdle, which we'll see on a Wednesday. Very open race to start us off.
We heard you both mention Chief Sequoia in that preview, and let's find out from John Wheeler how the horse is travelling.
He lacks a bit of rhythm at the moment. Once he gets that, he could end up being a superstar. He's a pretty good horse. That rhythm will come. It's only probably a bit of ringcraft, really. Yeah.
So it sounds like you're comparing him pretty favourably to some of the your past sort of stars.
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of champion jumpers, and yeah, he's right up there at this stage. As I say, if he gets that nice rhythm like some of the good ones, St. Stephen and those ones, he'll be away. He'll be up with the best. Yeah. Okay.
It sounds like it's going to be pretty testing at Riccarton. How will he cope with that?
I don't think it worries him too much. I think he can go on any sort of track. We galloped him this morning on a very deep track, and he loved it. It didn't matter.
Okay, obviously the main game is on Wednesday, but what can we expect of him on Saturday in the Sydenham?
Oh, just a nice run, and I think I haven't seen the fields yet, of course, so we don't know, but he's probably going to be right in it.
Yeah, so a little push there from the jumps maestro, John Wheeler, and when he's mentioning the horse in the same sort of sentence as horses like St. Stephen, you know that he's got a really high opinion of this. With those jumps horses, they just are such a long progression. So this horse might not be at his best for maybe 2 or 3 years further down the track, but he's going the right way, and when you hear John Wheeler talking about him like that, obviously this is a key lead up into the Grand National Hurdles on Wednesday, but you've got to respect him.
We've also got to talk about the other jumps race on that card on Saturday, the Racecourse Hotel and Motor Lodge Coral Steeplechase, and there's also a nice field engaged for this one. Aidan, who let the fox out? An interesting contender in this race.
Yeah, I think so. From what we saw of this horse on the jumps debut, here it is here. We're just going to take you back to Trentham. So in behind on this occasion are horses who have gone on to big things. There's Yardam, who's there and goes on to win a Hawke's Bay Hawke's Bay Steeples and a Wellington Steeples. Both of those run at Hastings this year. And Coconut, who's further back as well, goes on and wins a Manawa 2 Steeples. Now this is this horse's first go in a steeplechase role, and he wins by 7. He looks like a really exciting prospect. I know Tally Ho Twinkletoe was a late entry, but the booking of Sean Fannin is really important here because obviously when Tally Ho Twinkletoe went in, Sean Fannin was already booked. So How they measure up, I'm just not too sure. But on what we saw from Who Let the Fox Out on Steeplechase debut, he's a big contender.
Well, in jumping terms, you've got the new kid on the block, haven't you, Aidan, that you've mentioned, Who Let the Fox Out, and such a dominant victory there at Trentham. He's got a little bit of a pull on the weights on the 2 stars up the top of the book. I'm sure that Shamal will be primed for the Grand National Steeplechase. I would imagine that the further the better for him. And, of course, Tally-Ho Twinkle Toe up the top of the book. You can't beat his record over in Australia either. But I had a bit of a fancy for Who Let the Fox Out as well. Aidan, $4 the price, so bookies keeping it pretty safe. I'd be happy to have a little bit of a look at that.
Up next is race number 5, the Road Metals Open Handicap. This one over the 1,200 metres, and Aidan and Matt will link in with you for this race. Aidan, first of all, I'm Blaze, who is second up this time out and surely has to have improvement in it.
Absolutely. We take you back and have a look at the Ormeru run in a second, Emily, and it's a key form race because a lot of horses coming out of this. Beno actually won the race, beating home in Blaze. You'll see King Cougar running 3rd, LB Darcy running 6th in this race as well, and Goodanya actually runs a really good race for 4th. So if we just pause it here, you can see in Blaze and just look at the amount of ground that this horse makes up. It is fresh up on a really testing track, and does come in this time 3 kilograms better than the winner, who was Beno. Now Beno in the end is able to skip away from them and win pretty decisively by 3 1/4 lengths. But in Blaze's run was an eye catcher in the race. The swing in the weights makes it interesting. And Blaze's run the quickest last 600 and 200 of the race. Beno's run the quickest last 800 and 400 of the race. And between the pair of them, I think they'll be 2 really leading contenders in this one.
Aidan, I thought Scarfy's run at Ashburton last time out was pretty decent. She took a long while to wind up off the back of some slowish early sectionals. She's been back to the trials on 2 occasions, Scarfy, since this run. She's well back on the outside in the orange cap, tracking Celine into the race, the eventual winner. Now, Celine's a dead set mudder, and if they are really getting their toes in by race 5 on Saturday, that's really going to suit her. I think Scarfy might just have the class edge over Celine. Heavy track isn't really too much of a concern for Scarfy, and you see her work through the line here was very good. This came off the back of the 1,400 metre run, which might have been a bridge too far for her in the Great Easter. Back to Riccarton Park, 2 trials since this run. I think Scarfy with Lisa Allpress and Terry Ray as a combination will be primed to run and win race number 5.
The feature of the weekend is the Group 3 Winning Edge Presentations 124th Winter Cup. And we've got a hot field assembled. Aidan Rodley and Matt Cross are going to join me for this one. And Aidan, as we talk to you about this race, Just Ask Me really presented itself as a key chance in the feature.
It's been the horse that's been favourite right from the word go, Emily, and it's a horse that they've kept on taking money for, bookmakers as well. And we saw why at New Plymouth last week, didn't we, or the week before in the Opanaki Cup, when this horse, against the pattern of the day, which seemed to be up and in, was able to come from back and wide and produce what was a terrific Winter Cup trial. We were down at New Plymouth on Tuesday, saw the horse, he's come through the race fine. And I think he really is the horse to beat, going off what he did here in the Opanaki Cup. The horse there who's riderless is Mont Ventoux, who heads down to the Winter Cup as well, and might be some sort of rougher chance in the race, but I was really liking what I saw from Just Ask Me this day.
Aidan, I respect your thoughts around Just Ask Me, but I'm going to go head-to-heads with you here with the South Island horse, who has very much been a carbon copy of this horse in terms of what they've done in each island. And Tappy's won. He's been excellent. He's going to settle a lot handier than Just Ask Me. Carries 4.5 kilos less than him. The question would be over 1,600 metres around Riccarton Park. If Tappy's one did get on the speed, can Just Ask Me make up what could be 12 to 14 lengths with 4.5 kilograms more than this horse who's got so much scope? Tappy's one. He pricked his ears when winning the Oamaru Cup last time out. He's in for a $36,000 bonus courtesy of the Oamaru Jockey Club if he's able to do the double. And here at Riccarton Park last time out, he was a sitting duck the entire way up the straight in a strong enough field. Set it up from, yes, it was a better barrier draw than what he has on Saturday, but he was so brave at the finish, stuck his ears back and they were never getting past. He's got C.W. Johnson on board. He's beautifully weighted, 55.5 kilos. I think he'll take all sorts of stopping. And the $6, Emily Bosson, I think is pretty good shopping for a horse who's heading in one direction, and that's an upward spiral.
Yes, certainly looks that way, Matt. And fun fact for you, only one horse in the past 10 years has won with 60 kilos, and that was Nashville under Kate Cowan. What about something else, Aidan, in the market that's presenting as a bit of value?
One thing the market's telling us is there's a whole heap of money coming for Cetus, 17s into $8 early doors, and we've seen that key stable change as well with Tony Allen, who, when I printed out my book on Wednesday, was actually booked for the ride as well, but it's now gone from his stable to Michael and Matthew Pittman, and the regular rider Maria Sanson is the regular rider. For me, it's Montvento at a bigger price. I thought the horses are mudder. Obviously, just didn't get any chance in the Opunake Cup to prove the wares, but at a decent $20 price, it would be Montvento for me.
Gee, I don't know about finding a $26 shot, Aidan, but Take the Deal was excellent in the Oamaru Cup last time. A horse who comes off the speed, 53 kilos. Often we see these sort of races won by horses down in the weights, and his work to the line last time was very good, and he seems to have grown a leg this time in, both mentally and physically. So Take the Deal to get over the top of them at a nice price.
Well, the talk horse of the 124th running of the Winter Cup is Just Ask Me, and we sent the team down to New Plymouth to see how he was training.
Alan, just asked me, he worked today. What did you ask of him this morning?
He went 1200 solid. I really want my work done today because the rest will be travelling. So, and the facilities down there, they tell me are a bit hairy with the new synthetic going in. So I wanted to do it all here if I could.
Just tell us about travel. When does he leave?
I get to Howie's today. We leave midnight and we're on the 2 o'clock sailing tomorrow. So we'll be there on Wednesday.
Last start when was here on the track of the Opunake Cup. What'd you make of it?
I thought it was a massive run. You know, I thought London Express was going to win it for us, and that would have had his weight nice for the Winter Cup, but it didn't go that way. He was the only horse that circumnavigated the field, and he actually won going away.
How happy have you been with him coming through that race?
Yeah, he's been really, really easy to train through it. He's eaten everything. His coat's really good for a winter horse, and his work was probably the best I've seen him work this morning.
This is a race you've set him for, the Winter Cup. Could you have him any better?
I don't think so, not on his work this morning, the way he looks. He's very clear in the eye, so yeah, we're going down there pretty confident. I'd be very disappointed if he wasn't top 3.
And to wrap things up, let's get into our best bets, the most important part of the show, and I need everybody on board for this one. Let's start with you, Matt. What are you liking as your best bet for the weekend?
Early in the day at Riccarton Park on Saturday, Emily, Louis Leway will line up in the first leg of the early quaddie. Here he is last start. He's the horse one off the inside, but he's about 5 off the inside, but he's the one horse off the inside under Chris Johnson. He got back along the inside. This was over 1,600 metres, and he didn't really relax all that well during the run. He got his head up on a number of occasions, comes back in trip, goes up 2.5 kilos on Saturday at Riccarton Park. Chris Johnson on once again, looking for 3 wins in a row. Doesn't look an overly deep, rating 74. No reason why he won't be winning again, the son of Zakinto. Real progressive type. He seems to have come back stronger, and I think he's a great bet. Race 2, number 1 on Saturday, Louis Leway.
I entirely agree, Matt, with you. I'm with the same horse, and for a few reasons. He's run the quickest last 800, 600, 400, 200 of that race for sure. It was a strong field. Even going into the race, I wrote down this is one of the best fields I've seen in Canterbury through the autumn-winter period. Now, in behind him, the 4th horse was St Andre, who's come out and won the last race at Oamaru on last Sunday, and the 6th horse was Take the Deal, who's come out and run 2nd in the Oamaru Cup. The form is outstanding from him, and he's run that last 600 of that race a second faster than any other horse in the race. He's a rising star, and he'll continue his winning run on Saturday.
Right, Aidan, I'm going to go to Oruakaka on the weekend and look towards race number 5. I do like the chances here of Acutus, a horse who doesn't have to contend with Irish Girl like he has in his last couple of starts. He did beat Irish Girl, though, 2 starts ago when jumping to the front. He's a very fast horse out of the barriers. Irish McCall suits the horse, and in a very small, compact field, he gets a great opportunity here to pick up another victory. He's $3 into $2.50 already as we speak around Acutus, and I was liking his chances in the 5th of the program.
And that's given me confidence too, Brennan, because I'm with Acutus, and as you said, lots to like about the horse. Plenty of ticks, and here is our rundown, an overview of our best bets. Just a note there, Bevan Sweeney has submitted Love Storm. That's on Friday, and you've also got Pip Morris with Dark Hazard on Sunday. So there's a roundup of your best bets here on the form. Hopefully you've got them all noted down. That's it from us, and big thank you to the boys for their selections and for the weekend. Good luck. Happy punting.